Oh, we got another article to give our thoughts on.
Yeah. And first time your mic is working.
Oh, yeah.
This article, Star Wars, how the expanded universe became a gatekeeping weapon. We've been trying to do this for a while, eh?
Yeah. I mean, there's a few people like Son of Luke who did a reaction to this, but
Yeah,
we're gonna
great
do
one.
our take on it.
Yeah. Ours might be unique. It's just already this headline says it deserves it. The Star Wars fandom goes increasingly toxic over the years, and the divide between Legends canon and Disney doesn't help. Okay, that seems
Yeah,
like
they
fairly
got a
strong.
little
Like to
point
start off
right there.
because it does seem very reasonable. If these sites weren't, if you use the term, but Disney shills, they just really want to curry favor, or they are not that informed. So, do you want to take the first one, or should I?
All right.
If you want to take the first paragraph, go ahead.
Yeah, so it says, for so long, the Star Wars Legends continuity had an avid fan base drawn from the pool of those hungry for more Star Wars content than the future films could give them. This loyalty for Legends sparked a lot of backlash when Disney purchased the property and rendered much of the expanded universe non-canon. But over time, that anger soured into an ugly trend. Legends has a charm as canon, but it loses that charm when wielded as a weapon for gatekeepers bashing on newer fans.
And this is the thing. It's like the first thing I saw here, and I agree with Son of Luke, is he provides no evidence. Nowhere does he cite specific examples of fans doing this or the way they behave. Not even
He says, "Oh
predictable.
yeah, all EU fans do this." It's like, no.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
like, yeah, I might have, been critical of the new canon, but I'm kind of done doing that. I'd
besides.
rather just embrace the elements that are, good.
Yeah, besides, we're not even talking about the new canon in general so much as the movies because they were built on lies. Oh, we have creative freedom. Oh, we want it to be a surprise, and it was none of that. It's just like it was literally built on a lie. And what upsets the fans is that they're not continuing Legends as this
Exactly,
new
like they
alternate
act like,
timeline.
oh, they want EU fans want the new canon decanonized and the legends made canon again. I was like, no. Like, I always hate it when these articles
This is
or
why
people
this is why I
come.
hate the recanonization craze because it gives the it does a few things. One, it keeps perpetuating the idea that the haters dislike and that the fans like and want again is that Legends was canon if you're gonna recanonize it. The second is that it hinders their new creativity, which might be the point,
Yeah,
to ride
especially if they have to rely on legends as a crutch to
yeah,
prop up
what
their
to
new
bring back,
canon.
what storylines to pill for what characters to take, yeah. And there was a third one, but yeah, that's it. I guess the third one is that it spreads among casuals and that they don't get a complete idea. EU casuals are fine with recanonization, but the hardcore fans would not be. Which is bad.
All right, so
I mean, maybe some. If you look at Matt Wilkins and his campaign, he was never calling those who like the new canon idiots or dumb people, whatever.
exactly.
Yeah. You want me to handle the next one?
Yeah, read the next paragraph.
Back up when it was known as the expanded universe, and he gets that right at least, so he has a little bit of cred, not the extended universe.
Oh, I hate that when they do that. Ugh.
Back when it was known as the expanded universe or the EU continuity, fans of the franchise explored books and comics to discover the backstories and futures of the characters they saw on the silver screen. Such continuity seldom had much effect on the films themselves, and indeed, the EU itself could be a tangled web of contradictions at times, which is part of the reason it was easiest for Disney to create its own sequel stories. And I'm gonna stop him right there because Son of Luke already went over this, but there's tons more ways you could point to the continuity it had on the movies, like Quinlan Voss, Ayla Secura, which he mentioned, but also
Oh yeah, Coruscant. That came from the Thrawn books.
casuals are just so confused as to why people like Boba Fett so much. Well, because he was expanding the Marvel comics and then the 1990s novels. And there were even Matt Wilkins even covered a few plot lines that made into like Return of the Jedi. Oh no, we don't want you to do the super weapon plot because we're bringing back another one. That would be it. And Coruscant was the Thrawn trilogy. I mean, enough said. So,
and of course they, claim that it was a tangled web of contradictions. But of course, they never bring up a contradiction.
I'm gonna put this forward. The new EU since 2014, if you count it in conjunction with the movies and the TV shows, is actually more inconsistent because there were only a few TV shows and movies in the old continuity. Which is why I think it was a good idea to make it Legends, but again, why do we have such a lack of continuation in that universe? Give us the Dark Zana novel.
No,
Lucasfilm.
totally.
Yes. I brought this up on Matt's Nightcap last night. Yes, that would be great. He is right about the contradictions, but I think he's a bit off base in his intent on why it's easiest for Disney to create a sequel story. Yeah, because they just set it to the side, which was a good move, but then they're taking from
it. Yeah, kept it from being, messed up,
Yeah. Anyway, you can go now. Your turn.
All right, what else do I have to say about this?
The next one is about the 90s.
Well, there was contradictions. Most of them were retconned, so they don't exist anymore.
On the Nightcap, we came up with a great idea last night that Waru's behind all the contradictions in both the continuities. Why don't they ever mention Ahsoka? Because Waru ate her and she disappeared across all the timelines, all the memories and everything. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
All right, so
I saw someone say the depressed Luke was swimming through him and ended up in the Disney canon. That's great. Anyway, yeah. Next paragraph, if you want to.
So throughout the 90s and 2000s, such contradictions mattered little to the fans who knew the EU inside and out. Essentially, there was a good-humored attitude towards Legends, one which may have made many fans feel special for knowing the complete story casual moviegoers would never see, but one which there was no demand for every Star Wars fan to have to with. Over time, that seemed to change following the Disney buyout. Confining Legends to its own separate canon was viewed as an unforgivable attack against true fans. Many of them who hated the sequel trilogy creators and moviegoers who liked the Disney canon.
This is my issue with it. It's like, Senator Luke even talked about this. There's a difference between being critical of the final products themselves and the creators, especially with all they've said. Like, oh, creative freedom, make it a surprise, and just,
Yeah, and I always hated the whole true fan thing, it's...
He's confusing an intimate knowledge and understanding that gives you an edge up in terms of intellect with, oh, you're not a true fan. He's the one who's gatekeeping by acting like we're somehow not true fans because we know more and we dislike how much they've taken. Well, that is an issue.
You can debate the level of hardcore versus casual, but the whole you're not a true fan thing is just so dumb.
And plus the hypocrisy here, like, I know we're all hypocrites at heart, John Lennon, we're humans, but
very true.
Look at all those hate articles. Oh, I'm glad EU is gone. Dark Empire sucks. Palpatine is, oh my god, Dark Empire, Rise of Skywalker is coming out. That was it exactly. It's so stupid. It's just, that is the issue. It's just, if you have more knowledge of the franchise, shouldn't we be the ones in charge? Is he saying he wants the people in charge to be idiots who know very little? That's unfortunate implications right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah. And he didn't talk to any of them, Matt Wilkins or, I don't know, Ryan Kinnell or you or any Legends fans you could find on YouTube. He literally did not talk to anyone, didn't provide any evidence. But, yeah. My turn?
Oh, what?
It's my turn, isn't it?
Yes.
It was a ripe environment for gatekeeping to breed, and even now the Legends continuity serves as some kind of litmus test of whether or not a fan is real or true. Someone simply prefers the Disney canon, they deserve no such vitriol, but go to most any online Star Wars discussion, the preference for Legends continuity amongst the fans will say otherwise. It's a divide between Disney canon fans and Legends diehard, as we're in a very toxic and unwelcoming environment, the Star Wars fan base. And right here, what I see is maybe we're just upset with the lies they told back then. Because it feels like with the degree they've taken from the EU, they might as well have just kept it around in the first place.
It seems like that.
It's a reboot from the movies all the way down to the lowest video games and comics and books. And if you know more, it doesn't make you any less or more a fan, but it does mean you can at least criticize these a lot better because you know just how much they're taking. And maybe it's just that we prefer when Star Wars was made with love and passion for possibilities, not the bottom line, because that's why people prefer it, because you can feel the Lucas touch everywhere. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your take on this so far? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and they still talking about the real or true fan arguments. Like, it doesn't matter which side you prefer. You're still a real fan.
Yeah, some people like Ichibaka say SJWs can't be fans. I'm like, yeah, they can. It's a world event. Sure, they can. Everyone could be a fan. Even people of propagandistic countries that buy into it. Everyone can be a fan. It's just that is the point. And it's like, what I'm taking away from this is he's confusing the natural fandom nitpicking and passion, which can be a bit heated, I guess, but that's the natural part of fandom, for toxicity. It's just like the same thing in recent years. Oh, you're a bigot. Just if you don't agree with us. He is right about one thing, though. The new canon fans don't deserve any vitriol, but if they're denying how much they've taken from the EU and the stupid decisions they made when they started, then that's an issue. And even new canon fans are like, there's two, Alex Kadari and Grim Alkin, and even they don't like Kennedy, I think, because of the horrible things she said, the inconsistencies. And it's just like, man, when even new canon fans are like, you're being a bit of a liar here. Anyway, you can go to the next one if you want, or give finishing thoughts.
Oh, sorry, I was looking for my pen, so I dropped it, but I'll get it after we're done. Oh, this is one argument. I'll discuss it when I'm finished.
Yeah.
It says Disney creating their own canon does not erase the years of work that went into Legends, nor does it invalidate the time and effort its fans spent on it. Getting overly concerned with what is and isn't canon and the legitimacy of either is not of the true Star Wars spirit. Fandom should be an opportunity to celebrate common interests, not battlegrounds to prove how much more authority one person has over the other, which...
Yeah.
That is true. Fandom should be a place to celebrate, and that, that's when I want to take my channel...
What this guy
I want to take it into.
What this guy isn't talking about is that there's lots of new canons, fans within Legends continuity.
Yeah,
those
canon fans are a thing.
Who prefer the micro series or who prefer TCW or everyone and their grandmother, and it's just like, Disney didn't create the first gay couple. That was Ferris Owen and Rowan Lange from, what was it, Rebel Force, I think, a Jude Watson book or one of her characters. But there you go.
Of the Jedi.
That's it. But yeah, this is a problem obsessing over the canon status because they're not continuing Legends, and they've really hurt Del Rey's sales with this. They've hurt Marvel's sales with it.
And here's the thing: if they continued Legends, they would make so much money.
Stuart Carperston, again, I brought this up on the nightcap, brought it up here, do it again. He would write a Darth Zana book, and I'd pay through the nose for that. I want a hardback that costs $50. Yeah, I'd pay that. You better believe it. It's just like, the reason people are obsessing it is they're getting into Legends and they're liking it, and they would like more. It's just
exactly.
He's just skimming over this, and someone says his articles have attacked the EU fans in the past, so that would not surprise me.
And the first statement in that paragraph, it reminds me of the argument of your bookshelf isn't still there. They didn't take your books away.
Not that they're taking away the physical books, it's that they discontinued the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy isn't that detached as a fan not to see how a continuity of a storyline is, I bet you anything he'd say that for the new one, but not this one. And it's just like, he's the one who's gatekeeping on the Legends fans. Just like, it's just...
And didn't Matt Wilkins even do a video about gatekeeping several years ago?
Yeah, it was that guy who had a bad experience and started going after the Legend fans, but he was so reasonable a few years ago. It's just, they can do that, I get it. But, with how much Star Wars is a big, giant world event, they could love it in countries like China, Russia, Americas, the South Americas, Africa countries, and all those places where we have such petty and social grievances and hostilities. That's a good achievement, and it's like I can see why it generates so much love. It's just, there's one other.
Says any fans of the old EU that perceive the new canon as a threat would do well to put their fear aside. After all, it will only lead to anger. Anger will lead to hate, and hate will lead to suffering.
So glad
it's
you
not a threat. How is it a threat?
What is a threat is the possibility that it displaces Legends forever, and Legends is never continued again, not even once. It's just falls to the wayside, and when they reboot, they just throw it into Legends. You can see that, couldn't you? That is where the real anxiety comes from. Bro, personally, let the new canon do whatever it wants. When they get around to, what concerned me is KOTOR remakes, not the Old Republic remakes, rather than an Old Republic type movie, because it's just gonna fit right into the Disney canon. But if it's a remake, does it fit within Legends or is the new canon? If it has changes, then do those override the previous Legends material? Or if there is no changes, that means you're selling the new canon short because of all the changes it has. I just would not support a remake at all for that reason. He didn't list any fans at all who are doing this. In fact, the exact opposite is true. Matt Wilkins.
Matt Wilkins have no problem with someone
look at the
new canon.
Yeah, look at the comics we've given up for this. Now we have something like the Beef Bros. They're so horrible. You know what that is?
Oh, what?
Oh, it's these two beefed up superheroes who go around beating up cops and corrupt landlords. Not even making that up. It's horrible.
That's so edgy.
It's more of the, I said it before on a post, I'll say it here, that the righties have an anti-protester agenda masked under anti-riot, and the lefties have an anti-cop agenda masked under police reform, and that kind of stuff. It's all hypocrites either way. I don't like that. It's just, I prefer something more grounded. But yeah, your final thoughts on this article? He's just using the same old talking points over and over. But we did take your books away.
Yep. Exactly. It's just.
This is why people say journalism is dead.
Yeah, all these articles are just cookie cutter, copy and paste.
And they're repeating the same points, either because they've heard them, so they just fall into easy traps, or it's what they genuinely think because they've heard it enough, or they actually believe them.
Well, it's been said so many times, so it's fact.
Oh, I wonder what, they brought up the horrible stuff that Legends had done, like the cringe star, and then it's like, oh, we're going to make that Luke's character for The Last Jedi. Just like, what? Geez, I wonder what happened to this new canon bandwagon you were jumping on. So it's weird to see them still doing this.
And there probably will never be an end to these articles anytime soon.
No, not until Legends has got like another book and we've outperformed sales with it. That's one thing he doesn't bring up. The actual Legends comic outperformed in terms of sales, past one or two top brands for the Disney canon. I think a book would just blow all the others out of the water. If we get that Darzana novel, yeah, it would. So
just any other thoughts?
It's just. These articles are just. I hate to say that they're actually malicious. They're probably well-intentioned. We don't know how much their superiors are pulling the string or how much they're just misinformed. So it's not like I'm saying they have an agenda, but it's like, when they're repeating something, it becomes the common knowledge. That's a problem. It's how rumors spread,
Yeah. So, anyway, I hope you people enjoyed this.
Yes.
So, see you around.